Hi all. We're going to do some Perl. Perl is a programming language. It's been around a long time. It's hardcore. It's a tough one. You can start here if you've never programmed before. It might be kind of tough starting here, but it's possible. Here's their main web page, perl.org. They're at version 5. You hear it says get the current version 5.22. Here's Perl 6. They've been working on Perl 6 for quite a while. So there's different ways that you can run it. You can run it on the web, that's what you normally do. You run Perl scripts on a web server with your web pages. But they also have it set up where you can download a version of Perl and install it on Windows, so you can learn the basics of the code. So let's go ahead and install it on Windows, and we'll start looking at the code. So we'll click this download now. Okay, now there's different versions, right? There's Perl on Unix, on Mac, on Windows. Here's Windows. See, there's different versions here too. So let's go with this active state here. We'll download that. Okay, so it opens up their web page, and we'll download active Perl for Windows x86 or 64-bit. Make sure you download the right version here. Older computers, newer computers. Okay, most computers these days are 64-bit. If you have a 32-bit computer, it's really old, but it's still possible. If you right-click on your computer here and go down to Properties, it tells you right here it's 64-bit, and it's 64-bit Windows, 64-bit hardware. Okay, so we'll download the 64-bit version here, and it starts the download here, and we'll save the file to our desktop. You can save it anywhere you want, but I like things to go to my desktop. Okay, and then I can open the downloads thing so I can watch it. watching a status bar is always fun, right? Okay. If we wanted to, we could just run it from here. But we're done with this, so we're going to go ahead and close it. Here's the installer that we just downloaded. We'll click that to run it. And here's the installer. Just keep clicking next. Yes, I agree. I just accept all the defaults. Here's the path. C Perl 64-bit. Next. Okay, this here, I want you to notice this. Add Perl to the path environment variable. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of that so we can talk about that later. And then click next and click the install button. Shouldn't take long. It checks to make sure we want to do this. This is the user account control. What you doing back there, Sassy? Sassy's a little girl. She's a 3-year-old girl. She's turning into a wildcat. She likes to go out. She'll go out 3-4 days at a time. She won't come in. I gotta go out and catch her to bring her in, give her a bath. How's Sassy? Sassy, do you like taking a bath? Huh? You're so pretty. Okay, it's done. It's done installing. Click finish. We don't need to see those notes, so okay, we're done with the installer. You can trash it if you want. Okay, so uh, this is run off the command line, the DOS command line. So if you're not familiar with that, this might be kind of tough. I'll do some videos on the command line. It's really not that hard, but if you're not used to working with it, then it can be tough. So Windows accessories. Okay, Windows System, command prompt. It's the one with the black icon. I'm gonna right click it and say pin to taskbar. And then if I want a shortcut on my desktop, left click and hold and drag it to the desktop. Okay, so you can open this up. It's always fun working with the DOS prompt. Let's see, you can go Perl minus V to see the version. And this lets us know if it's working. So Perl is not a recognized item. Okay, I've rebooted, and we'll start up the command prompt here. And we'll go Perl minus V. Okay, so now this shows us that it's working. This is Perl version 20, subversion 2, so 5.2. So what do we do with this, right? I've got some examples here. These are just in notepad files. So see, if I click on this to open it, it opens the code. Now, I downloaded these off my Linux account, and I lost all the carriage returns. So it should look like this. this is the first line, this is the second line. So this would be the most simplest Perl program to get started with. Whenever you learn a new language, they always start with hello world. It's a good start. It checks to make sure your Perl is running, and it's just by convention, that's what they usually do. So it's just a nice way to get started. So instead of keeping these on the desktop, what I like to do is put them on C colon here. Then they're just easier to get to. We don't have to navigate through all these folders here. See, I'll just take these, I'll go out to my C colon here, and I'll just drag this whole folder onto my C colon. Then I'm going to right click and hold and drag a shortcut back to my desktop so I can get to them easier. I hope you understand that. You know, if you're getting into Perl, you should have a basic understanding of how Windows works. Okay. So if we go back a folder now, see CD is change directory. This here. And then dot means back one folder. So you can see how we went back one folder here. Now we got to go back one more folder to get the C colon. Change directory back one folder. Okay, now we're at C colon, the bottom of the computer. That's this here, C colon, bottom level. This kind of doesn't look like it's the bottom. It looks like C colon is inside here, but really C colon is the bottom level. Now, it just by convention it's C. Most computers are C. Yours might be a different letter name. They could actually make it any letter name, but it's usually C colon. Okay? So we want to go into this Perl folder. So we change directory into the Perl folder. Now we could type the whole thing out, but a nice shortcut is if you type part of the file name and then hit the tab key, it completes the name for you. You don't have to type out the whole name. And also, if it completes the name and it's the name you're looking for, the file or the folder of the name you're looking for, then you know you're in the right area. Okay. Okay, so now you can see we're in the Perl examples folder. Okay, if you're having a hard time with that, don't worry about it. I'll do some basic DOS. It's really not that hard. You don't have to be a DOS expert. You just need a few commands. But if you're gonna get into Perl, Unix scripting, that type of thing, you should get used to looking at stuff like that. You know, that's really where it's at. Okay, so dir means directory. Directory is just a fancy word for folder. So here though, it's going to do a listing of the files. inside the folder. See, when we open this folder here, it lists all the files for us. We don't even think about it. It just happens. When we went into the folder here, it didn't do anything. It just said, okay, we're in the folder. Now we have to say, okay, show us the files inside that folder, dir. Okay, so here's all the files in that folder, and I've got them numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. This dot and dot dot, those are files too inside that folder. That's how we can move around. Those are really hidden files. We don't even need to see them, but that's how we move up and down with the change directory cd command. So we aren't going to do all of these today. Just this handful of files, that's going to take a while. That would almost be a 15-week course or close to it, plus a few more. So we're all at a different level, right? So some people will catch on faster. I'm trying to take it as slow as possible. Okay, so we want to run this first file, this guy here. So we say, okay, use Perl. We want to turn this file on. We want to run this file using Perl. And then we have to give it the file name. It doesn't know what file we want, right? We have to give it a file name. What file do we want to run? And I have this O1, and if we want to, we could type the whole thing out, but if you just hit the tab key, then it completes the file name for us. Okay. Then just hit the enter key. Okay. So Perl ran this file and printed out this message. Hello world.